Hello friends, welcome back to ProstoHub. Myself Dr. Jolsna, and this is the concluding session of our topic prosthetic rehabilitation of dentate maxillectomy patient. So till now we have covered the obturator prosthesis, that is we have discussed in detail the design and fabrication of the surgical obturator, the interim obturator and the definitive obturators. So coming up is the delivery and post-insertion follow-up, the digital technology in prosthetic rehabilitation and the conclusion references. So before getting into detail, I request everyone to please do like and share my videos if you are finding them useful, and if you are watching this channel for the first time, please do subscribe and support. Now let's see about the delivery and post-insertion follow-up of the obturator prosthesis. So the post-insertion instructions should include recommendations for the frequency of removal and cleaning of the prosthesis and the defect. So the prior experience with the interim prosthesis will give us an idea about the difficulty the patient has faced, especially with the accumulation of nasal secretion and its drainage. So we have to re-emphasize the importance of hygiene maintenance at every visit to avoid complication of dental disease and to maintain the health and stability of the abutment teeth. And the first follow-up visit should be done after 24 hours. We have to assess the function of the obturator, as well as we have to examine the defect area for any signs of irritation. And adjustment should be done, and it should be continued until optimal adaptation of the obturator has been attained. And any leakage from the nose or changes in the speech indicates that the tissues conducting the obturator might have undergone further changes, and so readaptation or relining is indicated. Coming to digital technology in prosthetic rehabilitation. So we know that visualization, design and manufacturing are the key elements in maxillofacial prosthetics. So conventionally, the surface texture of the area has been visualized with recorded impression, and then the design process is carried out with the help of wax pattern, and this wax pattern converted into a prosthesis by processing technique that may be a lost wax process or the casting technique. So this is the conventional method of manufacturing. Now in digital technology, an object is changed or worked virtually and processed into solid object with the help of RP&M technology, that is rapid prototyping and manufacturing technology. Now what is this RP&M technology? It is a commonly accepted name for technologies that are capable of manufacturing physical objects directly from 3D computer data in a layer by layer manner. So with the same technology, we are going to fabricate the obturator prosthesis. Now let's see the advantages of the digital technology. So it improves the technical and clinical quality of the prosthesis. It improves efficiency and efficacy. It improves the quality of care and quality of life for the patients. Now let's see the steps in fabrication of the maxillary obturator with the help of digital technology. The step 1 includes digital imaging of the defect with the help of a CT scanner or a CBCT scanner, and then the digital data that is obtained, that is a 3D data set, is imported to RP&M software. And there are two methods of fabrication, the indirect as well as the direct construction. So in indirect method, first the maxillary defect area is identified from the 3D data set that is imported into the software, and then this area is isolated through a process that is termed as segmentation. And once isolation is done, the RP&M software is used to create an STL file format of the defect, that is the stereolithographic file format. The full form of STL is Standard Tessellation Language. So once this file format is created, this is sent to the RP&M device to produce the resin model of the maxillary defect. Now once a resin model is created, this is used as a mold for the construction of the maxillary obturator in a final silicon elastomeric material. So the first picture shows the acrylic resin model, and the next one is the obturator in silicon. So that is a silicon obturator in the second picture. Now once this is created, the silicon obturator is placed in the maxillary defect, and then an impression of the obturator in situ is recorded. And once this is recorded, then the construction of the denture component of the prosthesis can be proceeded in a conventional manner. So this is indirect method. So first the maxillary defect area is isolated through segmentation, then STL file format is created and it's sent to the software, and then resin model is created. Using resin model as a mold, the silicon maxillary obturator is created, and then finally the denture component, that is using the conventional technique. Now coming to the direct method. So here after the 3D dataset is processed with the RP and M software, the obturator is constructed through a direct process. So the whole of the prosthesis is designed with the use of computer aided designing, that is CAD, that is based on visualization of the air and soft tissue interface in the defect. So once the designing is done with the help of CAD, then the STL files are generated and the maxillary obturator is manufactured on an RP device either in wax or acrylic resin. If it is in wax, it is converted into acrylic resin by conventional means. So this is the direct technique where you are designing the whole processes with the help of CAD, and then the following steps are same as that of the indirect process. Coming to conclusion, the prosthodontic rehabilitation of the dentate maxillectomy patient is a very lengthy and involved process, and in dentulous patient, speech and swallowing needs to be restored and mastication is also accomplished with the help of residual maxillary dentition. And if attention is paid to the proper sequencing and details of the treatment, it can be one of the most satisfying procedures in all of prosthodontics. So these are my references for this topic. Thank you all for watching my video. Please do like and share my videos if you're finding them useful. And if you're new to this channel, please do subscribe and support. If you have any queries, suggestions or any topic that needs to be discussed, do comment below the video or you can directly mail me at this mail ID. So thank you all once again, and we'll meet with a new topic in our next session.